Hello, folks! It is I, Easter Bunny, back from my long-ass break from videoing stuff. I have been playing Ark. I've got about 2,500 hours in the game now, and I am on a modded Ark server. I've done a lot of really big projects that I didn't video. Honestly, it didn't seem like people were interested in watching me build stuff, so I didn't show it. So people on the server were pretty impressed with the stuff I did. But it didn't seem that cool to me. Nothing, out of the ordinary. But on this modded server, I got a chance to do something a little different. Well, first thing I'll do is, I've always got the weird character, so I will show you the great, the wonderful, the splendiferous Stomacules. I gotta kill this thing first. Some people think this is my best weird-looking character ever. So let's see if you guys agree. Okay, so here we are. This is the look. You can see my Dimorphodon is sitting on this shelf that is my stomach. Actually, I'll get rid of him for a second. Here you go over there. And there he is, the Hunchback of Notre Stomach. And I like to make strange characters in this game. I think it's a game that really, you're really able to do that well and get some really neat effects. So that's just a quick look at the newest rendition of my silly character. This server has 26 mods. I think maybe even 27. One of them is the Pimp My Dino mod, and you can see that Tengu is maxing and relaxing here with the armor. I haven't painted it. Really should have painted it, but I didn't get a chance. This is the vessel that I think you're going to be interested in. I've used pretty much all the mods on the server to create a vessel that I've lived on now for I think it's going on 3 months, and I haven't had to land or use any other things. Well, that's not true. I have a pad where I've put down some crafting stations. But for the most part, I've used just this boat. As you can see, I've got 2 T-Rexes, oh look, you're not with the rest of the group. 2 T-Rexes, a Rhino, a Doedicurus and Kylo, a Carno, a Centipede, a Raptor, a Lysistratus, a Beaver, a whole host of Dimorphodons, which are my defense, and a Quetzal. I used to have a defense simply of 2 Quetzals for the air and land. Unfortunately, with the last patch, a couple patches ago, they changed the way things work. And because they did that, I am no longer able to... my Quetzal, while it was attacking T-Rex, went underneath the boat and drowned, which was a sad and sorry day. So I decided to pull out a bunch of my hand-bred Dimorphodons. This is the last batch I had bred before I changed servers. A lot of them don't even have names. They're from the Magma series of Dimorphodon I created. They all have 875 health or more. That's what they start with, and 314 damage or more. So they work very well for air and land defense, along with Pimple right there. Everything else on this boat's on passive. That way I don't have to reset the boat every time I want to do something. And I found that that's the best way to keep animals on a boat. Otherwise you're in for just no fun. So there we go. So that's the top of the boat. That's what I have. It's easy enough to get up and down. I have, if you can see, underneath the T-Rex's legs, a full set of plants. Go back up there for a quick second. See them? A full set of the plants, all 4 of the plants you need to create the kibbles and things of that nature. I can go over here and pet the Lysistratus and get the extra XP for my creature. This is the center map, and the center map underwater is pretty nasty. I've got 10 mantas and 4 sharks that swarm underneath the boat, so if something like a Spino comes up here, it gets really wrecked between the Dimorphodons and the mantis swarm. The mantas are basically the Dimorphodon of the sea. If you haven't figured that out yet, they are hyper fast, hyper fun, very weak as far as hit points, but a mass of them is devastating. So let's discuss the inside of the boat really quickly. This is a standard server. There are no mods for rafts. So this is a standard raft using glass metal. So this shape is something you can build on any server. You can see I have a single line ramp. It's hard to get a T-Rex up there, but it's obviously doable. I've got 2 of them up there. Inside the ramp there are compost bins. I don't know if you can see those. I'll go show you. There are 2 compost bins inside the raft. This guy, before he was here, it was a lot easier to walk around. 2 compost bins inside the raft, and there was an update, and I didn't get a chance beforehand to move the Dimorphodons inside, so they all just landed on the boat wherever they felt like. That's one good thing about using a raft. They don't just go wherever. They land right on top of the raft, and I can usually just gather them back up. So we've got the two boxes. I've got a solar panel from the Ferris panel. Then we have internal to the boat. Everything else is pretty much protected. 2 forges, and there is exactly one space open on this boat, and we'll discuss that in a second. Why that's the case. I have one open space. Let's remove that glare. There we go. So we have our normal smithy. I have a vault right here. Holds 150 items. That's all the storage I need. I have a fabricator. This is the only weak link to the entire design. Is this fabricator sticks through. I don't know if you can see. It sticks through that wall, and it is hittable. It's the only hittable thing on this boat. I have a freezer, which is a very small refrigerator that has a higher refrigeration time. I have a refrigerated feeding trough. If you have the ability to put this on your server and you want an easier time in life, this thing is amazing. It holds by weight instead of slots 20,000 pounds of stuff, and it can hold anything that is considered a food, and also seemingly anything that can be put into a refrigerator. So it's like having a giant bulk fridge. That's why I don't have a regular fridge on the boat. I just have that. I have a dehydrator. This thing is also pretty awesome. This meat right here used to be just raw meat. This will dehydrate raw meat without oil and without needing to cook it. Although if you do not cook it, you get a hell of a lot less meat in the end, because a lot of it does go ahead and spoil over time. We have your normal grill. We have a industrial grinder. The industrial grinder is awesome because it has this 50 raw meat from prime meat changeover, which means I can put in really large amounts of raw meat from this. I can just take from my freezer this prime meat that I got from, we have a stacking mod, this prime meat I got from killing a whole bunch of stuff, put it in here, and there's 700 raw meat for my creatures. I can put 10,000 in there at a time. It has the ground meat, which speeds up production of spoiled meat. And otherwise, it's really the same as an industrial mortar and pestle. Have your regular mortar and pestle on the floor, because there are certain things that doesn't do. And then I have the Jonies mod. The Jonies mod collects poop, collects eggs automatically. All these eggs came in just the last few days. I got a Diplo egg, so I was near a beach. The thing has a huge range. Because of that, I don't ever miss any of the eggs that come out. When I had 2 Quetzals, I received quite a few Quetzal eggs. I don't know if you guys, some of you have had Quetzal pairs, you know how few eggs you get. Well, here are my Quetzal eggs from the time I've been on the ship. Let's see, maybe you saw them go by. 28 Quetzal eggs right there. I have, from the T-Rexes, I think 27. And I did a T-Rex cook down of eggs of about 50 just a month ago. So I get a hell of a lot of eggs just from being around. I've got the house symbol in here, as you saw. This little yellow tidbit is a thatch and fertilizer system. This automatically puts thatch into the compost bins. The poop and egg collector puts poop in automatically, and I get fertilizer back out. From this fertilizer, I can use this mod, the oil compressor, to create oil. So I have an internal system, automatic, that creates for me fertilizer, and I can turn that into oil. And I don't even need oil because I have a solar panel, but it runs, this guy and it runs that guy. That's pretty much everything on the boat as far as modded systems. The only thing you have to really be careful about is the size of your animals. Obviously, I don't have a mammoth. I pretty much use Chupacabra in his wood and the grinder in this wood to thatch conversion to create the thatch I need for my poop collection. I have also this homing beacon for if I die. All my large flyers, my little flyers won't, but the large flyers will all fly to this point, so I won't ever get them lost. They go to the closest homing beacon, but since I'm a raft, and generally just go where I want to go. It's almost always me that's the closest homing. Anyway, this is going to probably be my last build on any Ark server, at least for quite a while, because I am leaving Ark. I'm going to be playing a game called Empyrean Survival Evolved. So, if you want to carry about 20 dinosaurs with you. Oh, one last thing. This area right here can take a quick load of 2 T-Rexes or 1 Spinosaurus. So if you are somewhere where you need to get out fast, you can simply load them here and go, as opposed to trying to get the T-Rexes up the top. Because like I said, that can take a little bit of time. It's the only little bit of weakness with this particular build. But I can tell you right now, my build holds a hell of a lot more dinosaurs than the ones you see, where they have that little arched shape. You know, they do that little arch shape for their carrier. That's a pretty standard thing these days. I can do whatever the heck I want here, and I don't have dinosaurs all over my face. The other thing I want to show you is, as I said, I have 1 open slot. And I also have just about every crafting table that is pick-upable in here. I have an ancient one sitting on the castle one sitting on a beach somewhere as on a wooden foundation. So here's an assembling station for the Saxon mod, which I was planning on using for a secret lab within a castle. And I can simply come out here, drop the assembling station wherever I want. That should work. I don't know why it's not working right now. We did have an issue earlier where we couldn't place things because of a mod problem. We might have that issue again. I'll have to work with the moderator and see what's going on, the administrator rather, and figure out why that's happening. And we must have a mod mismatch, right? But anyway, I can place, because I have the 1 open slot, I can place either a cookbot, and I have multiple cookbots on this boat, so I can just put them in and destroy them whenever I need, or one of these crafting stations in that 1 open place and do whatever I need to do. Generally, it's a cookbot. Recently, I knocked it out because I needed to use one of these crafting stations. Anyway, that is what I'm doing in Ark. Now, because I've played 2,500 hours of this game, probably closer to 2,600 hours now, I'm getting tired of this game, and I'm going to be moving on to a game called Empyrean Galactic Survival. I'll be doing that today. Actually, I've actually been doing that. I'm going to show you my first true build on that game today. It's a hyper advanced battle tank that we're going to be using to destroy some of the largest stations on that game with Thorgal fairly soon, probably in the next few weeks. Anyhow, I thought you guys should get a little update on what I've been doing. I hope that's been enjoyable for you, and good luck, everybody.